Hello everybody, this is Brooke aka Supernatural Simmer 34 and today we are doing a Not So Berry makeover video. So if you haven't seen my last episode of Not So Berry, you wouldn't know that Marilyn aged up in that episode. She's now an adult, which is crazy to me. It feels like I just started Not So Berry, which I suppose in the grand scheme of things I have, but it's still weird to almost be done with the first generation already. Ryden is actually a couple days younger than Marilyn, so he isn't aged up yet, but I did give him a makeover in this video anyways. He doesn't look as fresh-faced anymore, and Marilyn has a more subdued and mom-like look. Marilyn's original look was very, well, I'm not entirely sure how to describe it. I don't know that I have the right words. It's very light and airy, maybe boho or cottagecore-esque. But one thing I struggled with a lot in this video was choosing out her hair just because I don't actually have that many hairs in this palette that I'm using. I've been using the Noodle Sorbet palette, or however you pronounce that word, for her hairs, which is actually, I'd actually never used it before I made her. I was really into the Wildly Miniature Sandwich palette for a while, and it was the only palette I would use. I've come to realize, however, that the colors aren't as bright as I'd like, nor are there as many of them. I toned down her makeup a lot, and I used this base game eyeshadow rather than the mint palette that Cryptic Sims came out with a while back. Her outfits are very mom, I think, with a hint of nerd. I didn't want her to be too flashy because I figured her flashy days were behind her. She's definitely very family-oriented now, and her materialistic side is like screaming in joy after the events of last episode, which you need to go watch. Next episode, we will definitely be getting married, though, because I had actually planned on doing it last episode, but then it would have been a little too long. I'm trying to be very consistent with my episode length, so we're sticking for like 8 to 15 minute episodes. It's really bugging me that there's one 27-minute episode, though, because it looks really awkward on the playlist, which is kind of a silly thing to be annoyed at, but here we are. I do have the rest of the generation completely planned out, though, specifically what I want to do with the heir. I've mentioned it in a couple videos, but I think I've decided that that's definitely what I'm doing. I'm really excited for it just because I think that the idea is really cool, and I'm a little surprised I haven't seen anyone else do it before because it's a fairly simple concept. By the way, Marilyn takes up the vast majority of this makeover because I didn't really change too much with Ryden. Also, by the way, I need more R names, specifically for girls this time, because I still do have to name the heir. I'm thinking Rachel Roseberry, but I really want to see if you guys will think of something better. I'm sure there are R names I'm not thinking of, but it really feels like there aren't very many. It took me a while to come up with Rhiannon and Riley. If you were at the stream where I was naming Riley, there were a couple of names suggested that I just vetoed immediately because they reminded me of people I know or know of that I don't really like. For example, Roger. My friend is a huge rock fan, so she shared so many freaking stories with me about rock bands and stuff, and one of them happens to concern Roger from Queen. Now, you know Queen, and if you don't know Queen, you know at least one of their songs. Bohemian Rhapsody is one of them, and they were figuring out all the stuff with that, but they had to come up with a B-side for Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm not entirely sure what a B-side means. I'm pretty sure it's the other side of the record. But, yeah. But now, Roger had written a song. The song was titled, "I'm in Love with My Car." It was about a guy who's in love with his car. It's not a good song. I've listened to it. It's pretty bad, but Roger wanted it to be the B-side to Bohemian Rhapsody. The rest of the band said no, so Roger hid in a cupboard until they agreed. I do not care if my child is a sim. I will not be naming them after someone like that, who, while a good singer and whatever other instrument he plays in the band, is really rather childish. Another name that was suggested was Ross, and first of all, that's Ryden's surname. His name is Ryden Ross, but second of all, that reminds me of Ross Geller from Friends. Now, I think that show is a little overrated, I will admit, but Ross has to be my least favorite character out of the main 6 in that show. I don't remember what he did that I didn't like, but he just grinds my gears. But we are on to Ryden. Now, originally, he looks very young. He's really cute, but I feel like he looks like he's in his early 20s. Obviously, he isn't. So I decided to have him stop wearing this nerdy hairstyle, or at least that's what I think of when I see it, and I replaced it with a hair from Snowy Escape. I also gave him facial hair, which aged him a lot. and not in a bad way. With both him and Marilyn, I thought about giving them glasses, but I didn't really feel like they suited them super well. But the rest of this is just me going through his outfits and making them a little bit more formal, because I feel like the older you get, the more formal you dress for whatever reason, especially if you're a guy. I didn't actually change most of his outfits though, just because I didn't really think they needed changing. They seemed like they would suit any age group, so I left them be. I really like how they turned out though. I feel like Marilyn in particular looks really cute in her new outfits and the shorter hair. But here we just go through some quick screenshots of their finished looks where I use just about the same poses I use on all of my Sims. Do you guys know of any places to get poses on Tumblr? I've already checked out Max's Match CC World, but like anywhere else would be appreciated. But we are coming up on the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you all soon.